Well, hello there. This is Virtuoso Chess Noob, learning and having fun with chess. Today, I've got another Von Hennig Gambit against Black's Caro-Kann. I've got the white pieces, but in this game, Black responds in the opening with a slightly uncommon move. But this now demonstrates how we can potentially use the king as an attacking piece. As per the title of this video, the king is a warrior. Let's go take a look. So I've got the white pieces, starting with e4, and of course the Caro-Kann defense is c6. Take the full center, d4, d5, as expected. Now knight to c3, captures, and Von Hennig Gambit, rather than taking back, we play bishop to c4, gambiting that pawn. Very, very normal. Their knight will now develop to f6 to defend the pawn. And now f3. What we want here is for Black to capture with their pawn, which is actually their most accurate move, which then allows us to develop our knight. And basically we get a great developmental advantage, great bit of tempo, while Black, ostensibly up a point of material, but we get a very nice opening and also potentially a great middle game. Now here, in this game, Black plays the second most common move, which occurs about 10% of the time. And that is, rather than taking, they attempted to keep the tension on the board and played bishop to f5. And here, what we're potentially looking at is, they're defending this two ways, we're attacking it two ways, and so what do we do here? Now, the usual, the most common response for white is just to take, and that is fine. However, after taking this way, Black can capture back with the knight, and it's not difficult for Black to play this position. And actually, the tension is sort of lost in the center. The position trades down a bit, and basically Black comes out basically just up a piece. There are a little bit ahead and they're perfectly fine. So you can do it that way, but I think some of the potential magic of the position is lost. Instead, what I recommend here, and is in fact the most accurate move in the position, is to take a very confrontational approach. Very direct, very committal, quite a romantic attack, which is the immediate g4. g4, immediately attacking the bishop. So this is often just very unexpected for Black. They're not sure what they need to do. Do they just retreat the bishop back? Is there some tactics here? And potentially what they're also seeing is that, my king seems potentially quite exposed along that diagonal. If they capture, is there an attack here? And so here I think Black was thinking that they will call my bluff. They decided to gambit their bishop and take this way. And that's what they did. And it's a blunder, because this wasn't a bluff. This is actually the most accurate move, and I am going to take their bishop. They lose a piece. And here, yes, they should give check. And basically in this particular setup, with the white pieces, you have to commit to the possibility that the king is going to move and advance into the center of the board. The king is activated in the opening. King captures pawn on f2. This is the correct move, and it looks like, maybe there's an attack here. However, there isn't. Everything is actually defended. And the reason why this isn't a blunderous position for white, and in fact we're quite a bit ahead, is that our pieces are either developed or have open lines. On the other hand, Black's pieces are all constrained in, and their only developed piece, the knight, is quite hampered. It can't really move forward, as I demonstrated before. So this is perfectly fine, but you have to be comfortable with bringing the king into the game, into the attack, in the opening. Now, Black tries to, wants to bring their knight into that position with an attack, so they play h5. Throwing the h pawn forward, and that's fine. Here I decide to just develop my bishop. You can see Stockfish thinks that developing the knight is actually a bit more accurate. Fundamentally, this is not scary because we just walk the king into the center of the board. My thinking here was a very brute force perspective, trying to just trade pieces. Now they jump their knight forward. That is fine. The king moves forward, potentially threatening the knight. With it being adjacent to the knight, there are no further knight moves which give check. They now try to give a check with their queen, trying to coordinate their queen and the knight. Again, it doesn't really work. Bishop pulls back with an attack on the queen, winning a bit of tempo. They try to keep their queen in play, moving it to f6 with attack on our pawn. That is fine. Queen now jumps into the party. Queen to d3 defends that pawn. And the thing is here, this knight is potentially a little bit trapped. Where can it go without basically being taken? So this knight has some serious trouble. Now, black, desperate, throws their h-pawn forward again with check. That is fine. I take the knight. Maybe they thought they had something here, but everything here is defended. Their queen doesn't have an in. They throw another pawn forward, hoping to get into the attack. You can see rather than g5, g6, attacking that pawn is a little bit better. That is a blunder. Can you see why? That is their final move. Bishop now to e5 with the skewer, queen and rook. They're losing major material, and more than that, emotional damage. Black resigns. Good game. GG. The big takeaway from this game is to consider the early g-pawn push in the opening in the von Hennig Gambit lines should black develop their bishop to f5. You have to be prepared for a potential unorthodox kingside attack. However, it can be very fun and very winning. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.